Sir.
Feeling like Grash Unleashed. When the club go around here, I'm the cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. Grash Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Yellow, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. I bet you thought you the EST, but homie, you don't even really go here. I'm better than you and you know it. Scumbag, baby, I'ma make that clear. Making many moves while I'm headed on the flight. I'm the megastar, baby, on these LA nights. Putting on 5-star classics, contract year, cause today is a whole new price. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on the daily. Feeling like Grash Unleashed.
Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. Welcome back to the Grash Unleashed podcast. This is episode 105 of the show that brings you the good vibes to the best of our abilities. Joining you as always is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, Grash. And joining me as always is one of my main man, one of the newest members of the Unleashed multiverse, if you will. He is none other than my guy, Jermaine. What's up with you, bro?
Not much, bro. Just living life.
Living your life like it's golden. Living your life like it's golden. Living your life like that.
Snap it back.
Snap.
Nah,
Had to go back in time.
bro. Them be like, I'm not gonna lie. Like we've had. Shout out to Ahan and the crew, man. CDB Multimedia Network and whatnot. We've had like music spaces going the last couple of days. Last night it was actually a marathon space because it went about 12 hours or so, and we talked like nothing but music, and everybody got in, shared their opinions. It wasn't no like arguing, fussing, fighting. People wasn't going crazy, talking over each other, nothing like that. It was just some good, like, it was just a bunch of people coming together, having a good time, talking music. So shout out to the guys because that was kind of fun last couple of nights.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So other than that, yo, how's outside of that, how's life been treating you as far as your fandom with wrestling?
I think wrestling fandom has been pretty good. Like, okay, so I gotta catch up on TNA because I've been trying to get back into it, and then when they signed Mega Chin, that kind of put a damper on things for me.
What's that mascot for that pie? It's like a moon. Is it called moon pie?
Yo, bingo! Because that's one of my favorites. That's one of my favorite snacks.
She the mascot for the moon pie.
They don't even have to put no makeup on that. I mean, like costume makeup. I'll say.
Listen, if Natalie Nunn needs someone to portray her in a autobiography movie, there you go.
Bingo.
You ain't got to do. You ain't got to search for chins. Y'all got y'all are chin by the chin.
Like you see how my beard is.
I'm
gonna turn to the side for y'all. That's like Tessa Blanchard's chin. Tessa Blanchard's chin is literally my beard, but it's like tilted up because it kind of like juts out at an angle. So like if my beard just permanently did this, that's like her chin. Fix my stuff back before I start looking like there we go. All right, better.
Oh,
man, it's been pretty good though. I've been pretty pleased with everything. Like one thing that, like, I think I said this a couple of weeks ago on the pod, but I love this time of year because WWE's ramping up and they're in Mania season full swing now since we're after the Rumble. AEW is going to start ramping up because they have All In coming up this summer.
They have Revolution first.
Yeah, they have that first, but I'm saying like they're approaching their big season. They're about to get into their big season as WWE is in their big season. So it's like we get all of that, and then there's all these good like trades and stuff going on in the NBA. NFL is in their offseason. Like there's just so much going on.
Yeah, that Luka trade threw me off.
Look, we had another marathon space that night. That space actually, because look, after the Rumble goes off, I'm like, I'm on a high, bro. I'm like, I went to go pick up my daughter because, like, as she was getting off from work, the Rumble ended. It was like God looked down on me and said, "You know what? I got you, homie. I'm gonna make sure the Rumble ends, and then you can leave the house." Worked out perfect. Anyway, I'm on the way to go pick her up. I'm eating in the car. I'm riding on the high. I'm watching the post game show. You know what I'm saying? In on the phone. You know, we get something to eat and everything. Come back to the house. I'm watching stuff on TV. I'm doing the post game thing, and I'm just going over my notes and everything, right? And I'm like chilling, getting ready to just like wrap it up. Like I'm gonna fire up the Rumble again, maybe. Just start my rewatch now.
Mm-hmm.
Trade alert comes in. I'm like, what? Get a text. What? Is this real? Yeah, it's real. A couple minutes later, we start a space and we go to like 4 a.m. Like it was crazy. But that space and some conversations we had that night sparked the music and everything talk spaces. And it blew up from there. And so
yeah, because I saw shout out to Lo, Wrestling Wind Down, love her. She was like, in wrestling terms, explain this to me. And I was just trolling because I don't take anything serious on Twitter.
no, you do not.
Traded Kenny Omega for Eddie Thorpe from NXT. And people was like, wait a minute, what do you mean by this? I'm like, oh, I got to explain this. I forgot some niggas take me serious. I'm trolling. I was not serious. It's like the equivalent of AEW trading Kenny Omega for 2015, 2016 John Cena.
Yeah. Yeah. You could say that. It's a lot of different comparisons you can make, but as soon as I saw that tweet from you, I was like,
This
I know he I know he trolled. I know he trolled. But wait, this is what made the joke even funnier to me, like today or yesterday, last night. So I saw a video of Eddie Thorpe like playing the guitar or something. Dude is talented. If that was really him playing the guitar, and like if that was him, she was tight. Okay, but when I saw that video, it reminded me of your tweet, and I laughed again at your tweet because I saw him in that video. And I knew you was trolling, and I still couldn't help myself. I was like, nope, I gotta respond. Gotta respond. I know he trolling me. I know this is a troll, but I have to respond.
You say, hey, bro. I was like, my bad.
Bruh, let me tell you, thank God for Keys, because Keys has to get on me all the time. He was like, Jermaine, when we do Sucio Sports, tomorrow night, Wednesday, 8:30, we got a special guest. But he always has to like reel me back in, like, bro, it's just like barbershop talk, bro. Everybody's just spitballing ideas, like, don't just relax. And so for the like when he reels me back in, I'll be like, oh, okay, cool. I got it. But when like that night for the trade, I let it go for a good 45 minutes to an hour, and then I couldn't take it no more. I came off mute and just it was I unloaded the clip and then I had to go back on mute.
Man, I ain't gonna hold you. It did catch me off guard because it was like, I feel like if what you call it was still owner of the Mavs, he would trade everybody but Luka.
Well,
if he was still the owner, because I know he sold his shares.
He's like, I think he's got 28%.
Oh, so he's not even majority anymore.
No. The Adelsons, that group bought like 70-something%, and Cuban still has a percentage. He's minority owner. But he also still holds a position, I believe, in the basketball operations department, if I'm not mistaken. I can't don't hold me to it, but I know he holds some sort of title over operations, basketball operations.
Yeah.
But what was interesting to me today, I saw a message, a skeet, I'll say, from him on Blue Sky, where
The
he
skeet.
he quoted Stringer Bell.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I thought that was interesting. Um, and it wasn't like some somber thing to say like he was upset or anything. And I'm not trying to really read anything to it, but I'll just say this: 2 days after you traded your franchise player, if you're posting stuff quoting The Wire, Stringer Bell specifically,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he either cares or he may have been involved in it and said, "Hey, let's do it."
Let's
Who
just see what
knows?
happens.
Let's just see what happens.
But yeah, this honestly just got me interested to see how the next season is going to go with this switch up, because I feel like I know I saw on ESPN a lot of people saying they're going to switch. A lot more people are looking for trades.
Yeah, there's a lot. We're gonna really dig into it tomorrow night and like get into a little bit of the weeds of it. But we have a guy coming on. He's a lawyer here in Texas.
Gotcha.
Lifelong Mavs fan, so he does have a personal interest in this. However, he has a very interesting theory as to why this trade could be a domino of bigger things to come down the line. Very interesting, but also very plausible if you look at the business side of it.
Big bet. So make sure you guys tune in and tap into Susio Boys tomorrow, so you guys can really enjoy that conversation and
You can
really
see it
tap in. You can see
right.
it right there if you're watching in the video format. Just make sure you guys stay locked in and stay tuned in with everything. Whatever we don't talk about on here, tap in with them. Whatever we don't talk about on here,
Bingo.
tap into on Thursdays for the Public Enemies podcast, so you guys can keep
Bingo.
that continuation going as far as all things that we got going on. But before we officially dive into everything that's going on, it's like we got a return here for the Gresham Leaks podcast. I believe he is still trying to get his stuff situated, but let's see if this works out and for him. Hello, brother.
What's up,
Hey,
y'all? What's
what's
happening?
good?
Can y'all hear me, brother?
Yes.
Yeah, we got you.
Sweet. I just want to make sure, man, we got a new mic, you know what I'm saying? New camera, we testing everything out. What's up, everybody? What's going on, man?
Bruh, it's good to have you in here, man.
Welcome
Hey,
back.
you too,
Welcome
my
back.
guy.
Welcome back
Welcome
up,
to the
brother.
crew, man. Been a long
Appreciate
time, my brother.
it.
Yeah, for
No.
sure. Hey, this smooth
But
right
yeah,
here,
so
Chris.
so now that the crew is all here, let's dive into some
Let's get into
good
it.
professional wrestling. But before we do that, we got to, I guess we're gonna go backwards because it's the Royal Rumble. We're gonna do highlights or whatever, but you already know how we do it. So I got a clip that I want to play for everybody, so that way we can know what we mainly want to talk about from the Rumble, because we saw the, I guess you can say, backlash of a certain outcome. But before we talk about him, let's talk about the one and only, the GOAT, and see, or current to the modern generation, the GOAT, John Cena. Let's see what this man got to say.
I would like to do something different tonight. I'd like to play a little game. It's called Who Can Get the Headline Out Fast Enough. So I'll be fielding no questions and trying to do my best to make a statement moving forward. In the 23 years I've been in this business, I know there are different perspectives about my path, but my truth is I've never used my opportunities for a spot that I haven't earned. Tonight was special for many reasons, but it has begun to sink in that it was my last Royal Rumble. And that Las Vegas, in looking at the sign when it was down to 2, and I had a moment to let the energy sink in, I realized that Las Vegas is my last WrestleMania. The last time I main evented a WrestleMania was 2013. That's a long time ago. The reason that hasn't been at the forefront in my mind, I've been a gimmick, I've been the first match, I've been in the middle, I've shared beers with the fans. because my truth, my perspective is I've always done what's best for business. Tonight, standing in that ring, I wanted this experience to be a tour of goodwill. I've openly admitted I don't know how much I have left in the tank, and I just wanted to do something that would be nice for all of us to get together and have a good time. Unfortunately tonight, it dawned on me that that's not best for business. What is best for business is I main event WrestleMania. And what is best for business is, for the first time, I confidently say that I'm gonna win a 17th championship. So I'm announcing tonight that I will compete in the Elimination Chamber. And I'm saying that because after 23 years of loyal service to this company, I feel that opportunity is earned. And yes, I'm flying back to Hungary to film a movie, so what I'm going to do is give my 5 other opponents 1 month to slander my name and bolster their self-confidence the best that I can. I told Toronto when I announced my retirement that I was grateful for the city and I would be back. And I would be back to kick ass. It is time to walk that talk and be who I say I am. I am going to the Elimination Chamber to win, and I'm going to main event my final appearance in WrestleMania and win a 17th championship, because that's what's best for business. And I say that because it is not best for my ego. It is not best for my business. I have built my existence here off of hard work, loyalty to this company, and respect for all of its branches. I will win 17 not for me. I will win 17 to someday shake the hand of the person who wins 18. Thank you very much.
All right. So we already, at this point, we already know who won the men's Royal Rumble, and we will talk about it in that in a second. But I wanted to start off with John Cena in the post show. So they already did something that a lot of people, because we didn't do a post show for the Royal Rumble because exhaustion, life, all that stuff happened. But however, Jey Uso is the winner of the men's Royal Rumble. And when I tell you the reaction to it was mixed online, but was positive in person. That leads to question that we're going to have in just a second. But John Cena, do we see him winning the Elimination Chamber and going to Mania, or is it going to be another situation to where he's just going to be desperate? And or is it going to be another 2018? Because remember in 2018, this man went through a lot just to get on WrestleMania. Like, is this the predictable route that they're going to go? Elimination Chamber, John Cena wins.
I don't think so. Just because he announced it. And I don't think they want to foreshadow it too much. I think it would be better if he just did the, not really scrappy underdog, but the old timer, the one last time, I got one good fight left in me, brother, something like that, But I just feel like because he announced it and he sounded all sad, and I'm gonna invoke my veterans' rights, basically, like I'm a big bro, y'all, basically is what he's saying, into the Elimination Chamber. But I think it just sets up for him to have this like character redeeming arc for his retirement run. He's going to lose Elimination Chamber. He's going to be running out of options, and somebody's going to come along and be like, I can do this, or we can do this, or whatever. He's going to have a Mania match, but it ain't going to be nothing like what he wants.
So highlight, you got anything you want to add to that?
Outside of this beautifully presidential election style promo this man just cut in a post show, I would say that it's
I'd say it's pretty much the thrill of the chase. You know, the biggest story ever told is the baby face going for the chase, right? And in this case, as Jermaine so beautifully put, you know, a dog saying, "Hey, I got one more fight left in me before they put me down, and you know, I'm an old dog with maybe a few new tricks that I might pull out on this last hurrah." But you can tell that clearly he's not going to win this thing, and probably have that same shocked, dumbfounded look on his face that he had at the Royal Rumble when he realized, oh crap, my feet hit the ground. And he's gonna, you know, realize like, oh crap, I didn't win what I said I was gonna do. And you know, I gotta go with JD when he mentioned the fact that right now the 17 chase should be something pushed towards the end more so than forced for WrestleMania. You should just go ahead and tell the better story of him just trying to get a freaking win for once, and actually, like, you know, get some wins racked up, which then sets up that chase of I'm gonna get title number 17, whomever he takes that from, whether it's Cody or whoever's world heavyweight champion by that point of when he goes for number 7. I say let's just sit back and enjoy this ride. To anybody that's still got complaints from the outcome of this thing, I don't know why. The man's literally going to be here until December. He got all year. He's going to get to it. Just wait. Just watch and wait, you know?
Oh yeah, for sure. And like I've said on this show countless times, I was like, it would be compelling. Like I agree with who you say, JD. I basically said that a couple of times myself. I was like, I feel like the way that John Cena is set up, he's going to constantly fail until he finally, like, he realizes he's running out of time, and then be like, yo, I have to win. Like I've been made to look like a liar because I keep failing and you are in my way. So now I have no choice but to take that title from you. Who will be the champion by the time that happens? If they don't go this predictable, not the predictable route, but they go this easy route. Because one thing about Triple H that I've noticed for the past, since he's taken over for the past year, he goes the easy way. Not necessarily the predictable way. Sometimes it be predictable to us because we're like, oh, we saw that a mile away. But I'm talking about he goes the easy way, like he doesn't take a chance. He doesn't box most of the time. It's every, like, Saturday night's main event. The first, he could have easily did like a quick title change on the last 2 times that they did a Saturday night's main event. Didn't do it. Went the easy route. Not saying it's a bad thing, but he went the easy route. What he didn't do with the easy route when it comes to the men is giving the title of Royal Rumble champion to none other than the main event himself, main event Jey Uso. It's not even in the nickname anymore. He is literally on his way on the road to WrestleMania. And
Yeah,
I tell
I
you,
love it.
I love when they go the unpredictable route.
Yes.
Absolutely, the fact that it was him and Cena the last 2, and as dramatic as they made that final elimination, it really hooked people. Because if you look at the reaction videos, the reaction videos were off the charts. Like, normally you'll see like good reaction videos and it'll be like but it was just like a whole like teeter-totter back and forth.
You heard cracks in the voice and all that stuff.
Bro, like even the audio from the ring when Jey audibly saying, oh shit, after he won, like it's still like it was that big. It was that crazy of a moment. Like he couldn't even believe it.
Because he said, oh shit. Oh shit! I did it, and they just started celebrating. I'm like, yo, bro, like
that is by far the best like mouth reaction that I've probably ever seen a superstar give when they realize, like, we've seen a lot of like surprise reactions from a talent when they realize like they won, but like Jey's probably go down in history as one of the best. Like Homeboy gave you that authentic, and as they say, you know, who he is not a character. That's literally him in real life that organically came to life and became exactly what it is right now. And it's one of those things where, bro, you're just looking at it and you're like, yo, That is about how he would really probably react for real and say like, "Oh, like yo, we here."
I'm gonna put it to you like
did it.
this: if Jey Uso was to win the title in Mania, that pop will rival the pop Daniel Bryan had at WrestleMania 30.
Yeah.
And I was in the building for that one. That pop will rival Daniel Bryan's pop because Jey Uso is that over right now. Like you can say what you want, argue with your mama, if they really even is your mama, because it probably ain't, and they just told you that's your mama. But that pop is gonna rival Daniel Bryan's pop.
Oh, yeah,
Hey,
for sure.
let me ask you, Jermaine. It's crazy you say that. A lot of people, well, not really compared these, just kind of mentioned how like arguably we've seen this before in different ways, right? But we don't see it every often. And last time we really saw something this organic was Kofi Mania, and then of course, as you mentioned before that, the Yes Movement situation. So like, I wouldn't necessarily compare the three because they're all unique and different in their own ways. But do you think it even rivals the pop that even Kofi got from Kofi Mania that year?
I think so. Part of the reason why it's gonna rival that one is just acoustics. Because that was an open air stadium, whereas the Superdome is a dome, and then Allegiant Stadium is a closed air stadium as well. I think the acoustics kind of hurt Kofi's pop, but the crowd reaction on all three were the same. It's just the volume is more or less what I'm talking about. How loud it's gonna be. Allegiant Stadium is a little bit more cavernous, I think, than the Superdome is, but I still think that pop is gonna be crazy because there's going to be roughly about the same amount of people in there, maybe a little bit more. But I think the volume, the decibel levels are going to be off the charts.
You won't have to worry about the Philly cold and people not reacting because they're freezing on if it's on night one. So.
Man, come on, bro. Desert heat, baby. Hey, I'm gonna tell you this much though. Real talk, Oos. Hey, that strip gonna be popping if this man mess around and win that championship, boy. They gonna be lit on that strip, boy. Hey, strip gonna turn into YeetMania after party for sure.
Look, I stayed. We locked and loaded. Me and the guys, we locked and loaded for Vegas for Mania. We all pretty much decided to stay until Tuesday for reasons of our own. It's more cost effective. Number one, and it's just to give ourselves another day of let's just hang out with each other and kind of check the lay of the land and see how everything is going after Mania. Even after Raw, after Mania. And we just wanted to do that just to give ourselves that opportunity. And I can't wait to see it. And Sloan, matter of fact, Sloan was there. He was at the Rumble. So he says that pop for Jey was deafening. And the video that I saw him post, or he sent us over there, I can't remember where but I know he took a video. Like, it was so loud, like he couldn't hold his phone straight. Like he literally could not hold his phone straight. That's how loud it was. Like his phone was shaking. It was crazy.
And that just shows me how disconnected online is to reality. The reason why I say this is because when Jey Uso eliminated John Cena, people lost their mind, but the people in the front, they were shocked. And then they processed it, and then they lost their mind. But across the board, everybody lost their mind. And then that's where you come into the conversation where entitlement comes into play. Because you know how last year, even though it was stupid, you know how last year with Cody, we want Cody. This man handed over his title shot. Online really thought that they were going to bully WWE into doing something similar. And then this is where I just laugh at people online because I don't take them serious. Because weren't y'all the same ones who shaped our mouth when it comes to what AEW is doing? Jon Moxley and Adam Copeland.
Talk about it.
Y'all complain about that, like, oh, why? Or Why is Jon Moxley struggling to beat an old man in Jeff Jarrett? I hear y'all. But y'all want them to sacrifice the popularity of Jey Uso so we can see a John Cena, a CM Punk, a Roman Reigns win when all they got to do is either survive this Elimination Chamber or just use their name and say, hey, I'm on the card. They're going to WrestleMania by default. They utilize this match to elevate somebody new. And then if you want to be technical, let's look at the analytics, the metrics. The Samoan Dynasty is pushing merch. They're pushing numbers. I'm not one to talk numbers. That's Jermaine's thing. But I'm telling you right here, right now, I pay attention to a lot of stuff.
Yes.
And I'm like, bro, this dude is organically over. He's popular. Is he the best in ring? No. I've seen technicians. I've seen like Bryan Danielson is right fucking there as one of the guys who I feel like is the best. Bryan Danielson, Shawn Michaels, like I rotate, Kenny Omega. Like I have my favorites that I know for a fact once that bell rings, they're going to kill it. Sometimes their promos are hit or miss, but when that bell rings, you know for a fact that you're going to bite on something. Kurt Angle. You have your ring technicians that are like every time they're in that as soon as the bell rings, they go kill it. But then it's like we're not finna sit here and act like Jey is just this like horrible wrestler that we've ever seen in the world, because have we been watching the same people? Like let's really call some people out. From the men's side, Val Venus was a shitty person, but he was all gimmick. Who else that I could think of? Like pretty much majority of the mid card in the Attitude Era, in ring wise, once that bell ring, that shit was ass. But it was entertaining.
Yeah. Hey, the Godfather, you know what I'm saying?
The Godfather, like respect to the Godfather.
He could, and the crazy thing about it is he could work. He could actually work. It just didn't. That wasn't required of him for that character, for him to be like this great worker. Because Godfather was never in like a 15, 20-minute Broadway or whatever. Like he didn't have to do like that, close the show, give the people what they want, go home with a banger. He didn't have to do that.
CM Punk, like yes, he calls himself the best in the world, but if you want to talk about fluidity, he's a sloppy wrestler, but it works.
Facts. Facts.
Like people's argument is always be like, yo, I need him to they be wanting these people to execute a wrist lock perfectly. And I'm like, I ain't gonna hold you. I enjoy my wrestling to be a little sloppy because it makes it feel more real. When everything is so organized and like fluidity, then I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, this is choreographed.
It's and that's what like that's where I get into it with when they talk about quote unquote flippy shit. Like when flippy shit is done and it helps add to the story of the match that you're trying to build, it works and it's great because it's highly entertaining and athletic. But when you have too much coordinated like stunts and spots and everything, and it's feeding into each other, and it's just one spot after another, then it's like we're losing the recipes on telling the story. We're just executing moves now to show people something. Like I don't mind flippy shit, but it has to tell a story. That's what got me into a lot of like actual lucha libre down in Mexico, because they use the flippy shit to tell the story. They don't lose the story in the flippy shit a lot of the time. Same thing in Japan.
Oh yeah, in Japan they legit just punch you in the face.
Yeah. Yeah.
So and it's like it's like it, and then that's what cracks me up. It's like people be wanting. They like, what's the reason? What's the reason? We give you the reason. He's over, as far as he's popular. You feel the emotion whenever he speaks. When you take away, like, and then they like to discredit him, say, "Oh, he's a catchphrase, he's an entrance." But y'all, that makes me know y'all don't really pay attention, because 5 years ago, before the catchphrase was a thing, he was the right hand man. And that man was making us. He was basically emotionally abused by his cousin, and we rallied behind him organically. They didn't force him. They put him in this position. Yes, him being related in the Anoa'i family put him in this position. But we've seen, like, if y'all really pay attention, we've seen people who are second, third generation talents that fumbled in certain positions that they was put in because they were ass.
Bro, we can even go. Ooh,
exactly. Ted freaking DiBiase Jr.
Man, good lord.
Just saying, man.
I had to adjust my seat after that one.
Like Ted DiBiase Jr. Curtis Axel. What's his name? Ricky the Dragon Steamboat son.
Oh, well,
Richie Steamboat.
I'll say this about Curtis Axel. He was still a good worker and everything to the point where they trusted him helping get like The Rock and stuff ready. I think he just didn't have any charisma, personality, or anything.
That's what I mean.
He was just like
he was bland.
He didn't have it. Like he's the exact opposite of Jey Uso.
Yes.
Excellent ring technician. Can do it all in the ring and just devoid of anything that will make you say, I want to watch this guy.
But see, I'm glad you said that, Jermaine, because this was my thought as I sat and like listened about hearing about all this negative discourse, right? And I'm sitting here like, okay, first off, we shout out to Natalya, right? We talk about some of the greatest wrestling talents that can go bell to bell, lock for lock, all of that with the best of them. But bland when it comes to personality, when it comes to everything else, you ain't into them. So the ones that can wrestle, sure, you support them, but you know good and well you ain't never gonna see them at the cream of the crop or the top because they're gonna make the other ones that at the top look good. The Rock wasn't the greatest wrestler in the world, but there were people like Chris Benoit and all of them, Kurt Angles and all of them back then that made them look good when they had some of those banger matches with them that they had, right? You look at all of these, man, listen, me and Gresh say this all the time when it comes to the Samoan moveset. All of them got about the same moveset. They show each other tribute. You know what I'm saying? Now we see, Jimmy, shout out to him. He's starting to, try to find himself doing corkscrews. We see Jay doing, nobody wants to talk about the fact that this man did a poison Rana in the middle of a Royal Rumble.
Thank you.
4 moves, but he just did a poison Rana just to show you a little something. These niggas can do something when they want to do something. And if you're not paying attention, that's on you, sir. You know what I'm saying? That's on you, man. Just admit it's just because it ain't your favorite, and that's okay. You know what I'm saying? You see LA Knight, people were saying he wasn't the greatest wrestler. Look, homeboy started doing a little rope move where he get on the second rope, jump on the top, and do an elbow. I'm like, oh, snap. He's showing y'all something. Come on, bro.
He needs to stop. I'm just gonna let you know right now.
I don't have anything to offer or add because y'all pretty much preached the whole sermon. I'm just here to pass around the collection plate at this point.
The last thing I will definitely say is like I feel like a lot of people are turning anytime someone is popular, they always want to go against the grain. It's the tale as old as time. It happened with John Cena. They're pretty much these kids who were old enough, who were young enough actually to see John Cena in his prime, are becoming what they hated from the older generation when they used to shit on John Cena being limited, but he was extremely popular with the kids.
Bro,
so now Jey Uso is popular with everybody. The kids and the ladies, and they want to say, oh, he has 4 moves of doom, 5 moves of doom. Oh, he does a poison runner. Oh my God, we've seen that before. Yes, we've seen it a million times in other places, but you don't ever see it here because it actually matters for the moment in time.
You've also seen like a 187-pound guy do that to like a 190-pound guy. You haven't seen a 240-pound guy do that to a 260-pound guy.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I'm just saying. But the thing is, like, his whole character arc, if we even go back to from his training and their humble beginnings in FCW, even if you go back to ROW when they were here in Houston with Booker T, like, they were twins. And it was, you can't tell them apart. And they had the face paint and did the haka and all of that. And then it was like, day one ish, like they're still a tag team, and it was always this tag team, and then it was like, okay, this is Jimmy and Jay. Now you can kind of tell them apart, but they're still a tag team. He was always this tag team guy until he became the right hand man.
Mm-hmm.
But then he was under Roman's thumb, and then he became main event Jey Uso. And then it almost became a parody of itself because people were just like, he's main event Jey Uso, but he ain't really main event nothing. Now that
Oh,
he's
he's always
being
losing.
right, now that he's being pushed and he got that opportunity, now y'all mad. Like,
That's the
just
thing. That's the thing. Because it's
enjoy
like
the ride.
we was
Enjoy
literally
the
the
ride.
ones out here saying, bro, it's time, because we said it 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
I said, bro, Jay needs to win eventually, or people will not give a shit anymore. And that was with respect, because it's like you could only lose so many times before people call you a loser. It is what they call the Bray Wyatt effect. Because remember, he was always talking in his peak, and then they just kept having him lose for no damn reason.
Hey,
And I even outrage you up that and say Dolph Ziggler was the same way too. Remember, similar path. Got over organically.
Oh, yes.
Won that Money in the Bank. Had that moment. Got them concussions. Management didn't trust him no more. Then he started losing all the time. And it got to the point folks just didn't care. Like, well, he just gonna lose anyway. What's the point?
Once he slid down the card, that was it. But I will say, one of the bigger pops of somebody that got over organically that I do remember being live for was when Zack Ryder won the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania 32 in that ladder match.
Yes.
Like, I'll be honest with you, I was in the building for that one too. His pop was way bigger and better than what Roman got at the end of the night. It was a lot of booze.
Well, yeah, because it was 2016 Roman.
Zack Ryder, the people lost their freaking minds for Zack Ryder. And that's, like we said, when people get over organically, and it's not something the company has to shove down everyone's throat, pause. But when it's just the genuine love. And like Sloan said, you put his comment up, like he's seen more grown men in Yeet shirts than anything. And he was one of them. Like, this man is just immensely because he has something for the kids, with the Yeet and the shirts, the colors and everything else. He's a good looking dude. Like, just call it what it is. That's why the ladies like him. He's a good looking dude.
That's why he came out in Atlanta with his titties all out, even though it was
cold
cold outside.
Exactly. And then you look at like guys like us, like, okay, well, we feel the realness in his promos when he cuts a promo. There's different parts of that man's character that connects with different people, and that's why he's organically over. I don't know why people can't see that.
Bro,
how I said it, like they're just mad because their favorite didn't win.
Thank you.
And that's the thing. That's okay. It's okay if your favorite doesn't win, but you don't have to always be in everybody's comment bashing Jay, because it's like you're literally becoming what you hate, because they be the same niggas and niggas, because I call the women the same niggas and niggas who always be like, well, I don't like this, but why you always got to be negative? You're doing the exact same shit that you're complaining everybody else is doing to you. You're literally becoming what you hate. You're becoming a hypocrite online. For what? We're not paid to like Jey Uso, and you're not paid to hate Jey Uso. You're just doing it because you're petty. And then you want to play victim when niggas call you out or clap back at you, because there's legitimately real Jey Uso fans, and it's so many of them. Like, shout out to Isha and all them at the Fem Pod over there. Like, I probably got it wrong. I apologize, but they are some heavy Jey Uso like hitters. And I was literally watching everybody trying to clap at them, and they was clapping back like, nigga, you ain't gotta respond to it. We are genuinely happy for our dude.
Yeah,
right.
Thanks.
Like as he said, I put the company. He told the company in the camera on his way back. He said, "Put the company on my back. I already got the culture on my back, so put the company on my back." And that's literally what he do. Because we're not gonna just sit here and discredit this man, because he's not the most like crisp guy in the ring, but he can still go, given the right opponent.
That whole saying what he said, that's the kind of stuff that he says that resonates with guys like us, and that's why I love that comment and everything. I love just his confidence, his realness. It's just his is everything, man. It's just he connects with you and he resonates with you, and it makes you feel something. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, like this is somebody that, you know what I'm saying. We can get behind. You know, we can get with this guy because he connects with people and he makes you feel something. And that's the part of a performer of any kind of art or entertainment you're in, is to evoke emotions in people. And when you can do that as a performer of any type of art, sport, whatever, it resonates with people, and that's what makes that human connection.
Pilot.
Facts. You know, real quick, I'll say this on adding on what Jermaine just said, bro. If this was hip hop, Jey Uso is the DMX of professional wrestling right now, y'all. And I say that in terms of what y'all just said, the emotion, the feeling, how
Mm-hmm.
organically he captures you with what he say, what he do.
Mm-hmm.
Some people may be like, oh, well, X wasn't the best lyricist in the world, this and that, or he ain't, he was dope, but you look and
He
read his
wasn't.
lyrics, he ain't the best lyricist, but it's like, it don't matter. You gonna feel what he say. You gonna rock with it because it's real. It's coming from a grit and a grind where you like, I feel that right now. And to me, that's just how I see it. You feel me? So like, hey, y'all just remember that. Y'all keep that going and keep that same energy when it comes to the Usos in general. Any of y'all talking about Jay right now in this in-ring stuff, I don't want to hear none of y'all go back and say any of them Usos classics was your favorites then. Because it ain't no different now than it was back then. So don't say nothing about that WrestleMania main event with Sami and KO. Don't say nothing about the tables match that they had on a pre-show that slapped with the Dudleys. Don't say nothing about any of the matches they had with the New Day. I don't want to hear none of that. I'm just saying.
Nah,
They got
y'all just love flipping up. So like going forward, we on the road to YeetMania. Like we not finna acknowledge y'all anymore after what we just said. But for sure, for real, it's like just get offline, honestly, because literally what happens online does not resonate with what happens in that building, or does not resonate with what happens. Because I'm genuinely friends with people who don't like Jey Uso, but they're respectful about it.
Right.
And I'm
That
genuinely friends with people who love Jey Uso. But the thing, like I just said, they're respectful about it. They're not out here cussing people out, bashing people because their favorite didn't win. It was like, well, I'm interested to see where the story goes with this. And that's what literally drives everybody. They're like, where does the story go with this? And we got a little bit of that on Raw where Gunther was basically like, yo, please don't choose me because I'm going to whoop your ass.
I love it. The fact that Gunther keeps it straight and narrow about everything, and he's starting to add some flavor to it. And they've done a good job of still booking him to be the champion and be strong, but also showing some chinks in his armor. Whereas he hasn't been as confident, like on the mic. Like Damian kind of got to him, and they're back and forth on the microphone, and kind of shook his confidence a little bit because he kind of got with him. And normally you don't see Gunther shook until it's in the middle of a match. But in the last few back and forths that he's had, you've seen him kind of look shook before the match. And so that's that little tweak in his character, just enough to still keep him as that same character, but make him more interesting because now he's not as self-confident as he was before. Now you see you can shake his confidence. So I love what they're doing, and I love that Jay has another shot at him potentially on the table. I pretty much think if they're going to go to Mania with the way things are, this will be the match that we'll get at Mania, and it'll probably main event night one.
The random what if scenario. What if he chooses Cody? Would that be intriguing?
If he chooses Cody, this would be intriguing on many different levels.
Because wouldn't his cousin, the head of the table, the tribal chief, feel some type of way that little cousin, former right hand man, is coming after the title that he says he wants back?
We're not even that. Not just that.
I'm not
Not
saying it's
just
gonna happen, but I'm just saying that would be kind of like
Not just the Roman aspect of it. You have to look at it like Cody has been saying he's quarterback, he's QB1, he's the guy, he's the flagship. I'm the guy, I'm the standard bearer of the company. Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso is now saying, nah, I'm coming at you, dog. I want that top spot. I think it's my turn to carry that ball now, and I'm coming to take it from you. Like that in and of itself, in the past history that they have from Jay being with the bloodline to Jay being not with the bloodline to Jay being on his own, there's a lot of layers to peel back. That main event would be a literal blooming onion.
Mm-hmm. And that's what I'm saying. Like it's interesting. Like if Triple H takes his gloves off, because he, like I said earlier, he likes to play it safe with his booking. If he takes the gloves off and actually reel you in, whether it's a story with Gunther, because keep in mind, this will be the 4th time that Jay and Gunther have faced. Jay lost all 3. He has no choice but to win that title. However, if he goes after Cody, there's a default story regardless, because you have the Roman factor, you have the ties to the bloodline factor, you have the fact that they are former tag team champions back in 2023. There's so many factors that they can go with the interesting tale, but we all know that this is the story that they're going with. It's going to be Gunther versus Jay. But I just had to throw that what if in, because that would have been intriguing.
To add to that what if, just to say, I mean, you've already kind of seen that darker side of Cody a little bit, you know what I mean? So, like, who's to say? I mean, he already feel like he ain't got friends right now. And he ain't even acknowledged Jay when he was like, I don't have any friends, but Punk, you're my friend. I'm like, hey, what about Jay? Jay ain't stabbed you in the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, what's up? He chilling. So
this version of Jay now.
Yeah, that conversation on Friday gonna be real interesting. Let's just say that.
And speaking of Cody, he is still the undisputed WWE champion after a brutal, if you will, ladder match. I'm not gonna hold you. I fell asleep the first time because, like I said, I was exhausted. Like I fell asleep, but I woke up like the tail end. I was just exhausted, but I watched it back, and they was taking some brutal spots. I'm like, I do not envy your back, and I do not envy your neck. I do not envy any part of your anatomy at this point in time. Pause, just in case, because y'all was taking some brutal spots.
Bro, that was that match, and matches like this that they've been doing lately have really gotten me like really plugged in back into the product, because it harkens back to an era of which I grew up watching wrestling because I'm an old nigga. So it's like I remember like the brutal matches and some of the spots and stuff like that. Like I remember when Terry Funk attacked Ric Flair and pile driving through the table after he just had that match with, I believe it was Steamboat or somebody. Wrestled like 30 minutes, and then Terry Funk attacked and pile drove through a table. Like that was like, oh my God, I can't believe he did that to Ric Flair. Like now, wrestling is starting to get back to that, because we were in the PG era for so long. We see a package pile driver on TV and we lose our minds. In WWE, that is. So they're starting to get back to like, we can have get quote unquote get color now, and we can have these brutal matches and stuff like that, and we can do certain things with still like quote unquote keeping everybody as safe as possible. So I love, because that brutality helps tell the story. Again, that's one of my things is you can do the moves and everything, and you can have the high spots, and you can get color and all the ladders and all the gimmick and everything. Tell the story. Just use all of that to tell the story, and you got it.
Tell the interesting story, because I'm gonna
yes.
A lot of stories are not interesting.
Thank you.
A lot of stories, and it's like that's it might not be interesting to us. It could be interesting to somebody else, but 9 out of 10 is not interesting. So it's like, tell an interesting story, because sometimes the story could just not be good. But this story, the consequences, if you will, because we mentioned Jey Uso. What did Roman Reigns used to say during the beginning stages as the tribal chief? He would tell Jey every time, I understand why you did what you did, but there's consequences to your actions. The picture, if you're watching in video format, the guy in the very back who's watching Cody Rhodes snap on his now former friend, that being the one and only Sami Zayn. Kevin Owens was like, "Yo, I usually have your back. Can you have my back? And let's face each other at WrestleMania for the WWE title. You win the Royal Rumble, I win the ladder match." So this match is brutal. And Sammy is just sitting there watching Kevin Owens get completely destroyed. But I'm lifting the finger, just reacting. And when at first I was like, why are you even come out here? But then I sat down and I watched it. I was like, oh, him doing nothing was doing something. He did not help Kevin Owens. And immediately after that, I sat down and processed some more as I was clocking to work. I said, oh, that nigga about to die.
Yep.
And he died on Raw. Kevin Owens once again betrayed Sami Zayn.
That story is something that they can always go back to the well with, because even in us as fans who know their deep history, we're always going to buy into it, because every time they've presented it, they've always presented it in a way where it's interesting, and it's always typically Kevin turning on Sami. For some reason, they always find a way to find their way back.
I think they had one time that the roles were reversed, and it was Sami during his conspiracy theory.
Yeah,
that was the one time.
That was during the pandemic, the Thunderdome era.
Yeah, that was when they twisted it, and people still did not.
Sami was off his rocker.
Yeah, that was when he was. Yeah, he was gone. So now KO is off his rocker, and just dropping hoes with package pile driver like it's going out of style.
That, and I'm so glad you picked that particular picture for this conversation, because if you peep the shirt that Kevin Owens is wearing, like, that is just
Sami Zayn forever.
KO is one of those guys that's such a well-rounded performer that you have to pay attention to all the little things, because he will leave you little nuggets and stuff. And the Canadian son of a systems technician shirt, the Cody sucks eggs shirt, wearing this Sami Zayn forever shirt as he package pile drives him for the first time on live TV, on the WWE TV. Like, just the little things that KO does. All the KO Mania shirts that he had, there were riffs off of other old school WrestleMania shirts. Like, he's the way he does things is so good, and it's so cerebral that people forget that he's not just this, chubby little dude that loves wrestling that just turned out to be a great wrestler. He's actually a really good ring psychologist and just psychologist overall. So I love this feud. I love that they go back to it, and both guys know how to play their parts so well that the audience is always going to eat this kind of stuff up.
Now, do we see Kevin and Sami at Elimination Chamber because it's in Canada, or do they drag it out to WrestleMania? Because the reason why I asked that, because there's two scenarios that can happen. If it happens at Elimination Chamber, because what we didn't mention or what we didn't see at the Rumble was Randy Orton, the first guy that got taken out by KO on TV with a pile driver. The Cody pile driver happened off air technically, so nobody on air saw it. But on SmackDown, Randy Orton got taken out by the pile driver. We ain't seen that man, or he wasn't even mentioned since. So if they go the route that I just asked, KO and Sami at the Chamber, that is where I see Randy Orton returning, and they have KO and Randy at WrestleMania. Or do they just drag it out and then have Sami sell the pile driver for a month, return at the Chamber, and then set up for WrestleMania for that big pop?
I like that. But we also have KO, who's obviously still like busted up from the Cody match.
Yeah.
So now he's taking Sammy out, and he's still busted up. So they're both going to be away for a little while. So this storyline could really go anywhere. I just want to see eventually. I want to see KO and Randy, and I want to see KO and Sammy. I honestly, I don't mean to sound like this. I don't care when they give me either match. Just give me both matches.
Oh yeah.
Just give me both.
Me too. Like
Just give me both.
that's what we are. Like I want to see both. I just wanted to see like where do we see it happening because we always like to try to
I
like
could say,
predict.
Randy KO at the Chamber with Sammy returning, like you just said,
Mm-hmm.
because Randy's been out longer. Sammy just got hurt. Um, Randy could come back like when KO's trying to cut one of those promos, RKO out of nowhere, and it's like, hey, I'm back. I'm ready to kick your butt.
Mm-hmm.
They get that going. Um, KO ends up like getting disqualified because he hits Randy with something to try to take advantage of him, back his neck, and trying to pile drive him. Sammy comes back, huge pop in Canada.
Mm.
Sets up the Mania match.
Yeah. Got anything to add, Howard?
Nah, yeah. I mean, honestly, personally, based off the tease that KO when he was playing mind tricks, as y'all so beautifully put, the baby mama drama, if you will. It didn't help that he was actually holding KO at the end of that match either. You know what I'm saying? Like literally like a baby mama probably holding a baby daddy. And it's just like, then for that to happen was just like, see, I done told you. I done told you to stop messing with him. But now, look at you now. Right? And I think he will end up selling that, as Jermaine put, like I think it's a situation where both of them need to heal up. But don't be surprised if like KO's still trying to come out here, even beat up and justify himself in there. You know how Randy like to do. He like to take advantage of his doggone self. He the Viper, so the fact
He
that
can
he
still
ain't
cut promos in the car.
Randy want to attack him the most. You know what I'm saying? Just to add to the damage. But I can see them setting that up for Mania because it's just one of those things where we've gotten this in every stage but a WrestleMania. And their friendship / feud is everything that Gargano and Ciampa hasn't been translating to on the main roster because Triple H keeps trying to revive that, as y'all see, and it ain't working. But this always worked because they always knew how to separate it, let them go do their own thing. Plus, the crowd really reacts to both parties very popularly, unlike Gargano and Ciampa, who just aren't getting that reaction that they were getting in the NXT days for whatever reason. It just ain't translating. So I personally hope they do this at Mania, but I'm not mad if they do this at the Chamber. Like y'all said, y'all know, hey, 2 Canadians in the Canadian crowd. It's gonna be stupid. It's gonna go crazy. I'm here for the ride to enjoy it like y'all. Let's get it.
Yeah, yes, sir. Speaking of enjoying the ride, CM Punk has officially qualified for the Elimination Chamber.
I like it because they're going to basically load up the chamber like they loaded up the Rumble. And I love it. The more variables you give, the better it is because the I don't like when the winner is too obvious in these multi-man matches and stuff like that. Like, give us some intrigue. Give me something that's going to make me want to tune in. Like, I'm going to tune in anyway, but like, because we're just fans like that. But like, at least give us something to like hang us over the edge a little bit. Like, what is really going to happen? Which way are they going? When we as the hardcore fans can't foreshadow, it's better for us. But they'll always find a way to bring in the casual fans because of the star power and everything else. So I think doing it like this, they're giving every audience kind of what they want.
Oh yeah. So far we have John Cena and CM Punk in the men's elimination chamber. And you mentioned like it's too obvious that John Cena will win. I wouldn't be against them doing CM Punk as the winner, and then we get Punk versus Cody because they also foreshadowed that in Atlanta when they had that promo. So it's so many ways, like just like the Rumble, It can go any which way when it comes to the men's chamber match as well. I'm just glad Jey Uso didn't say I'm gonna cash in my my title shot at the Elimination Chamber like a certain John Cena in 2008.
Let me ask
Good Lord. That was like, I want to say that was like right before I got back into wrestling.
Yeah.
And when I went back and I was like, huh?
I said the same thing when I was watching live.
Don't
I was
make no
like, wait, what?
This don't make no sense.
Okay.
But yeah, we got that. And also we have Liv Morgan qualified for the women's Elimination Chamber.
I like it because whether people hate Liv or love Liv, like there are people out there who really love and support that character. It's obvious by the way, you know, the audience and everything reacts to her, whether she's doing a backstage thing or an in-ring thing. People can say what they want, but you know, she has her supporters, you know, audience wise and backstage. So it is what it is.
Oh yeah.
They've got
And
the Bella Army type fan base.
yeah, and I love to me, I love the fact that like she was actually a fan or whatever, and you know, kind of scrappy, scrawny little, you know, smallish, you know, woman's wrestler, but you know, she found a way to make it work and stay there despite. I'll never forget when she first got called up from NXT. Her downside guarantee was like ridiculous. It was like the lowest on the roster, and now she's, you know, very well compensated for what she does, and you know, more power to her for getting that bag.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Speaking of power, we have Charlotte Flair as the women's Royal Rumble match. And
boy.
niggas out here saying, "Oh, Jey Uso is the worst Royal Rumble winner ever." You clearly haven't seen Alberto Del Rio, but I digress.
Speak on it.
Now we have Charlotte Flair. You know how we mentioned predictability and what the hardcore fans can foreshadow. I saw this a mile away.
Man, listen.
Bruh.
When Shorty came in at number 27, they couldn't have made that any more obvious.
Her being the only one having a promo to announce themselves in the Royal Rumble told me everything I need to know. And that was 2 weeks ago. I'm like, yep, she's winning.
Yep.
Here we go.
But also, the thing about it was, it's like there was no struggle. It reminded me so much of Cody in year
time.
one when he won the Royal Rumble, coming from number 30, and you're like, bro, what? You didn't even go through nobody. Charlotte ain't go through 15 minutes. 15 minutes.
Bro, y'all watching NXT?
No. What happened?
Y'all want the spoiler alert or
yes, not? I don't really care.
Fandango is back, bro.
Oh, TNA.
Fandango is back, dog.
Huh. Is he still Fandango? Or
Bro, I don't know. I had it on mute, but I know that like the music hit and I saw Fandango.
Oh yeah, it's a TNA. If this leads to I bet you this is gonna lead to Moose, because isn't he aligned with him?
Yeah, he was in the system. So
so back to Charlotte, from one person to another.
Hey, bro.
Hey.
But yeah, that ain't Fandango. It's JDC. Man. But yeah, once them fireworks hit Charlotte, I was like, yeah, she's winning this. And then y'all saw that promo on Raw. Did she cut?
Look here.
Or at least tried to cut.
That was eerie as all get out, boy.
Ooh.
I was sitting there like, boy, but are you serious, Charlotte?
Well, let's look at this though. let's look at this though. What if they already had a plan in place to pivot her? Like I'm saying, she came out and tried to cut the baby face. I came back from injury. I won the Rumble. I main event Mania. Blah 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 blah. Like she tried to come with the baby face, go by the script. You know, Rumble winner, Mania thing from injury. People didn't exactly. People didn't care. What if that was like, okay, let's try to do this, and we'll go try to see what they say. But if it doesn't work, we already know she's a natural heel anyway.
And if you look at the promos that they was building up to her return, this baby face, it didn't scream baby face. It screamed like, hey, I am that bitch. I am the top dog. I am the top of the food chain. If you want to be the best, you got to go through me. I've been away for a year, and now you have to earn your keep when I'm back.
Do y'all think this mirrors slightly a little bit of like how Rock had to pivot to that final boss character a bit, in a sense? I don't know if this could turn out to be as cool, but do you think it kind of resembled that a little bit? Like,
no, the only reason why I say no is because Rock was genuinely confused at people not wanting him to face Roman Reigns. Whereas here, people saw through this, whoever wrote this promo for Charlotte should never write a promo for Charlotte ever again.
You ain't got no complaints for me, no complaints for me, bro.
Why are you guys booing me?
She said, whether you cheer me or you boo me, I missed you guys. It's been the hardest 2 years. And it was like, we don't care. Yeah, it was like, bro, they literally was like, yo, take it. Remember, write it down. I don't give a fuck. They literally became Smokey from Friday. they did not give a damn about this. It's like a part of me couldn't help but laugh, but I was also feeling bad at the same time.
Hey, bro. Hey, Cleveland hit him. Cleveland hit him with the Dave Chappelle wrap it up button, baby. They was like,
hey, wrap it up. Wrap this shit up. Wrap it up.
Hey, bro, it's look, ain't nothing I can say.
Yeah.
It is what, bro. The levels of secondhand embarrassment were off the charts Monday night. That's all I got.
That's all I got. Damn it.
That's exactly what that was, boy.
Oh my God. Come on, man.
Look here.
Listen, Charlotte is a natural heel. Whoever told her to go out there and cut a babyface promo set her up. But luckily, she's a vet. She knew how to pivot on the fly. And yeah, we can move forward from that because now she got Rhea Ripley out here begging for her to choose her because she feel like she doesn't. So that lets you know that this entire segment was a pivot. Because I feel like Rhea probably wouldn't have said that if the crowd got behind Charlotte. But now they had the pivot. You could tell this segment went off the rails.
Yeah. That wasn't a good look, man.
I love the pivot though. If it was a pivot, it was a good pivot. I'll say that. It got me interested simply because, and I think I was talking about this with somebody yesterday, day before, or whatever, and I was just like, there's ways you can still tell this story, even though it's the third time that they could potentially meet at Mania. There's ways you can tell this story. There's ways you can tell the her and Tiffany story. I mean, hell, there's even ways you can tell the her and Julia story if you really wanted to try to put Julia on Mania. Like, there's a way you can tell each story with any three of those women, and there's an avenue to go down that will get people interested. It's just up to them to execute it to make sure they keep people interested.
I'm curious. It's funny you say that, bro. I was just about to ask y'all this. Like, how do y'all feel about the whole exploring the NXT title thing because you don't see Jey having to pop up on NXT. That man said, "I'm going straight to Cody on SmackDown." He ain't say,
that nigga
"Oh,
saw Oba.
pop up
That
on
nigga saw
Femi."
Oba Femi. That nigga saw Oba Femi saying, "Fuck no."
But not just
It's
not
all
just
no
that.
smoke. It's all
He
no
said
smoke.
no.
Hey, not just that, but like let's be honest. The men's Rumble winner going to NXT. Come on, really? Like really?
But I
Like,
mean,
come on.
hey, if the women
I
doing
mean,
it, I don't understand it. Then why we got the women doing it? You know what I mean?
Come on now.
Edge did it
Come on
briefly.
Come on.
He did.
He did
Yeah,
it in 2020. He did it in 2021. You can tell they were just wasting time, but yeah.
Let's be for real, fellas. Let's be real.
Yeah, we for real. But also, let's be for real.
We know it's a double standard.
Also, let's be for real. That nigga don't want that Oba Femi smoke.
Hell no. What? I'm a big nigga and I don't want Oba Femi smoke.
Hey,
What are you
but
talking
I'm
about?
saying,
Like, I ain't
hey,
scared of
bro,
nobody, but I'm gonna be like, damn, boy, man.
He look like he
Like,
look like
we
he
just
hit
gonna
harder
fight
than
it
I
out. You probably gonna break my back or something because I'm old as hell. But I'm telling you, I'm gonna take a tooth for eye, a dread, or something. Look, I'm coming away like this.
I'm just gonna shoot him.
I'm leaving with something. I'm
I'm
from around the way. I'm leaving with something.
Forget all that. I'm just gonna shoot him. Like, get your big ass, get your big ass down. Get your ass out.
Look, and we done with that.
Like, let's make this. Let's turn this 10-minute discussion into a 3-second round out. Bah! Get out of my face.
Done.
But nah, man. This was unintentionally funny to me because it's like you can tell that was not where they wanted to go, but at the same time, it's Charlotte. She's a natural asshole,
right?
And it's like she was a heel when she left, wasn't she?
Yeah, I believe so.
Nah, she was actually still a babyface, but they were telling her to go heel.
Was she?
Oh yeah, they were teasing.
Was the heel, and she was the babyface.
Oh yeah, that lets you know how long she been gone. Right. I forgot.
Yeah, bro.
Exactly.
Look, I had to think about it.
Because I always write her off as a heel, even if she's a babyface. I'm like, yeah, you're an asshole.
She's never been like she's never been like a full face. She's never been like a full face. She's always had that arrogance about her just because of the way she walks to the ring, her mannerisms, the way she presents herself, and everything else. She's never been a full face. She's always been a tweener.
The last time she was a full face was 2015 when she got called up.
I won't even say that. I'll say the last time she was a face was when she first debuted, and she was just like, "Hey,
that's what I'm talking about.
Charlotte Flair, I'm happy."
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah,
no, I'm talking about on NXT.
Oh, on NXT. Oh, okay.
FCW, whatever. Like I'm talking about way back then. That was the last time she was a full face because it was just like, "Hey, I'm Charlotte Flair. I'm happy to be here, guys."
Oh, she didn't even say Flair. She's like, "I'm Charlotte. I want to forge my own craft."
Yeah, I want to do this. That was the last time. Once she got into her real character, when she knew like I have to like embrace this, that was a wrap.
That was a wrap. Like, so but this is another match. I'm like, yo, they're wasting time. It's gonna be her and Tiffany.
Man, for real, like just do it.
I think they want to. They're gonna highlight Tiffany. I wouldn't be surprised if Charlotte got the win, but I want to say this is to like elevate Tiffany, and because they really see something in her. And they have another, under 30-year-old female that they can build around for the next 10 years, like they have in Rhea Ripley. We got the goth, mommy, muscle mommy, tatted up look. Now we got the, traditional quote unquote all-American girl from Minnesota, blonde hair, blue eye chick, that good athlete and everything else that we can also build around for the next however many years. So we got two different things. Like we already got like the black women already got all the different kind of black women on lock. Like they got plenty of black women they could pick from to be the next superstar. But on the other side, it's like, bro, what we gonna do? because I'm gonna be real. This is gonna sound sexist, whatever you gonna say. I'm a man. I look at women. This is how I look at them. Charlotte don't have the assets she needs in order to constantly keep people's attention. And her with all the plastic surgery and stuff on her face is starting to look kind of weird. When men look at wrestling, women's wrestling, a lot of the times, let's just be honest, we're looking at what we're attracted to. And Charlotte is not something a lot of us would be attracted to.
It's the same. Like we're not finna just say it was the men either. Women do.
No,
do
women, and there's a lot of women who love Charlotte and they call her the queen and this and that. But let's just be real. They also
no, I'm talking about as far as like how you said we look at who we're attracted to. Women do that too.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
hell
we're not gonna just say it's just us. We're gonna put it across the board.
They'll say, "Oh, Charlotte, the queen." But when they talk about like a Lash Legend, they talk about Lash Legend in a different reverence than what they talk about Charlotte Flair.
Yeah,
and a lot of them talk about Lash Legend as body tea and envy of her body and whatnot, and they just talk about Charlotte Flair, her presence.
Yeah. Like reported alterations aside, because I'm trying to make sure I don't get sued. Reported alterations aside, if you take away any of that conversation, a lot of people are just bored of Charlotte's story.
They're tired of her being at the top of the card, and they feel like she's being pushed too much. They feel like she's being given this and like she's been handed this. And the fact of the matter is, she is their best wrestler. She's the best athlete. She's one of the best athletes, I'll say. But she has figured out pro wrestling in a whole better than all the other women have, and for a longer period of time than they did. She figured it out a long time ago. She has the promos, she has the presence, she has the walk, the look, and everything else. She can go in the ring. Like, she puts a total package together. It just so happens that she was one of those ones where you have everything, we're gonna push you and see what you can do. And she took the ball and ran with it. There's a lot of the times where people have certain things and they want to push them and see where they go, and they take the ball and they drop it.
Like I said earlier, like it doesn't matter about nepotism or none of that stuff. Is like if they put you in a position and you pick the ball up, you can't get mad at them for picking the ball up and knocking it out of the park, because there's plenty of times where this same company, well, companies across the board, have given the ball to next generation talent and they drop the ball. Because you know how we mentioned the Ted DiBiase's, Wes Briscoe comes to mind from TNA when he was in Aces and Eights in 2013. Dude was horrible. Dude was I'm like, oh my God, why are you still here?
I'm still trying to like catch up on some backlog stuff with T, because I never really watched it until
trust me, you're gonna come across Aces and Eights 2013. Once you hit 2013, text me and let me know, because I will tell you right now. Why?
That was a time. That was a time.
But I might as well go ahead and do some retrospectives of that too. Shit, because 2013, but
if you do retrospectives, if you ever do any retrospectives and stuff like that, let me know, because I'm all for retrospectives, watch alongs and stuff like that. All for
bro, because I'm like, brother, I had to sit through some of that stuff. Like, good God, Wes Briscoe, Garrett Bischoff, good God, a lot of next generation people should have never been introduced to this wrestling business. They should have stayed one generation.
Yeah,
that's how
bro,
bad
I'm so glad I was kind of in and out around that time with that one on those days. I eventually caught up to him, but like when it got to that, I had tuned out a little bit in and out with TNA at that time, so I knew what was going on, but I didn't sit through it like Crash did, because I was just like,
I was watching it live, brother. From 2000, like, bro, I fell in love with TNA in like 2007, 2008. Then Hogan and them came in, and they fucked it up.
Boy, did they! Like, I tuned out after that little Monday Night War that they tried to do. And I was just
yeah. So basically, Jermaine, when you get there, you're gonna see some shit. You're gonna be like, "Oh my God, why?"
Yeah, that's how they tried to go live on Monday night to compete with Raw back then. Oh boy,
and that was 2010 Raw. So 2010 wasn't even the best.
No, bro, like I there's a channel on my Roku TV where it shows it's an old school TNA channel.
Oh yeah, my uncle got that too.
Okay, so it'll bounce
too.
back and forth with different TNA stuff, and sometimes I'll just sit here at night and I'll just watch that channel, and whatever comes on. I'll just watch it and absorb it, because I'm trying to like watch as much of it as I possibly can to try to get some backstory on some stuff or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I could see why a lot of the times hardcore like TNA fans who watched the product back in some of those days were pissed off and frustrated. Like I see what you're talking about with some of the stuff. Like, because they don't like, it's not like in sequential order. They bounce back and forth between current stuff, old stuff, some newer stuff, and
kind of like their Twitch
stuff.
channel that they had.
Right,
I remember like 2020 they had Twitch where they would show the current, and then they would like show like a flashback of like 2012 moment or 2011 moment or Jeff Hardy turning heel and all that stuff. So
the shows will bounce back and forth. It'll be like regular, like their TV shows, or it'll be like some pay-per-views or something like that. But like it bounces back and forth. But it's giving me something to go off of, right? But circling back to Charlotte and the ladies and whatever, I just feel like there's ways to tell these different stories, and the way that Triple H has been booking, it's keeping everything pretty open-ended. You're not pigeonholed into anything. You don't really know where you're going to go. There's so many different directions, and they're teasing everything. And Charlotte herself mentioned, tomorrow I'm going to NXT to see Julia, and then Friday I'll go to SmackDown to see. Like, she said it herself. Jey never said that. Jey just Gunther came out and he confronted him because he was on Raw. And he said he's going to SmackDown to talk to Cody. So Jey never said it, whereas Charlotte said it. And Charlotte also historically was the one on the women's side who said, hey, I may go for the NXT title. And then she ended up doing it. So that's why I say I don't see, the where Jey would want to even do it, because nobody's never done it before, where Charlotte did it a long time ago. So there was just some history there on the women's side where there was never any on the men's side.
Yeah.
And
that's why I was still wondering, because like we take that title seriously as a third brand. It looks like if she's kind of exploring the option of that, even entertaining it. But then it's like, I don't know, just what takes me out of it is when you say like stuff like, oh, I want to see who inspires me. And I'm like, what you mean inspire you? Like,
that right there proved to me that this was a pivot. Because that don't make a lick of sense. How are you not inspired? You're wrestling. I hope you're inspired. If you're not inspired, then why did you return? You could have just retired.
Why you in the Royal Rumble? Inspired. Like,
bro,
do you know the other women are inspired? Quote unquote.
Like, what are you talking about?
No, like the other thing too that like, and I wanted to make this a callback to the John Cena thing, the things that wrestlers say that don't make sense or that cause us to like, what are you talking about? John Cena saying, I want to win 17 so I can shake the hand of the man who wins 18. Bro, you won 16 already. Why can't you just be the guy that shakes the hand of the man that wins 17?
No, my thing is, how much faith do you have in Mother Nature that you'll be alive if they do it again?
Thank you. Because let's be realistic. Who's close? Triple H has a pacemaker. He has 14.
Randy Orton has
back and neck issues.
He has 14. No, he has 14.
Yeah,
him and Triple H are tied.
14. Yeah, he has 14.
Yeah, Randy Orton has 14, and then
The Rock is The Rock about to get an AARP card.
The Rock only has like
11.
That man has like 8.
8? No, it's don't he have like 10?
Nah, he has 8 because he's like
okay. So
he's an 8-time WWE champion, but I guess if you count the WCW that invaded in 2001,
they count all the world titles.
Okay, so he's an 11-time.
Yeah, that's
and Austin was like 7, wasn't he? Like 6 or 7.
Yeah, he's 7.
Yeah, I think so.
He's definitely 7.
Like like who are we really looking at?
Randy Orton.
Really looking at.
But it's like, bro.
And Randy winding down. Randy like, hey, bro, look.
How many is Roman won?
How many is Roman won? That brother has won 8.
Like
he
no, 6. No, he's like 6. He's like, no, I scratched that. He's run like 6 or 7. I guess if you count
last race, count is like
that's
that
2.
should count as multiple.
That should count as like 2 because
that fool had it.
And they still acknowledge, and the funny thing is, they still acknowledge that as a separate title. If you go off of .com, it's still technically a separate title. So you WWE technically has 3 world titles, men's world titles.
Looks like 7. 4-time WWE champion, 2-time Universal, and then there's another Universal reign. So it looks like 7.
You talking about Roman?
Yeah,
so 7
for Roman. Yeah,
so
like 7.
Oh yeah, it
7.
was 7. It was 7 because he won it from Brock, and then he never lost it, and then he regained
the one he had to drop it. Yeah,
and then he regained it, never lost that one. Then he just added one because he won the WWE title to merge them.
Yeah, so that's the way it looks. And I'm pretty much
that
sure
nigga so long it feels like it was like 3 title reigns in one. So that's
pretty wrong. Hey, that's what I'm saying. That should count like more than one.
Hey, they need to take like okay, look, this is how you cook books. If you want to do some money laundering or something like that, I know from people who know. But if you be like, okay, an average title reign is about this many days. If he reigned for this many days and you divide it by this, then he actually had 6 more title reigns. So he really got 14.
Okay, Scott Steiner.
Steiner math.
Steiner math. We're gonna Steiner math it.
And speaking of math and
TNA, boy. That's some LOL TNA for you.
Boy. But speaking of math and stuff not adding up, Seth Rollins out there dressed like 7 from WCW without the makeup. I don't understand.
Seth Rollins looks like a villain from the Cowboy Carter tour.
Let me see this fit, bro. Hold on. Let me see. What the heck?
Carriages.
Oh my Lord. What the heck is this?
Yeah.
Shout out to Black Guy Wrestling Podcast. They said he looked like Macho Man Randy Savage when he was in TNA.
Macho Man Randy Rollins, huh?
Oh, wait, bro. Wait. Because I saw there was like a video montage that they showed one night for TNA, and it was Macho Man with that jet black dyed hair and all that black on or whatever. That look, like, bro, that look right there. Yes, I get the reference.
What the freak, bro?
But this man came out here dressed like
futuristic
this.
Undertaker.
And it doesn't help that WrestleMania sound in the background is futuristic.
Bruh, this is too much.
Walker Texas Ranger head, man. What the hell? Oh, man.
But and the crazy thing about it is that the blonde that he has in his hair contrasts perfectly with all that black that he has on. Mm-hmm. It does not blend in, so it adds to the whole Seth Rollins. Like he and King Troy, his stylist that styles Becky Lynch, like they have taken things to a whole nother level. Like, and I love because it adds to his character, because every week when his music hits, what is he wearing? It's the sing along and everything, and we love Seth because he's a great. But what is he wearing? That's become a part of his character now, and it's something that people look forward to.
Yeah. This nigga said Jeff Jarrett is somewhere rolling in his grave. That brother is alive and well. Someone who probably isn't alive and well, at least he has no memory of what happened, and that is Roman Reigns.
Oh, bro.
Uh-oh.
That brother got stumped so hard by Seth Rollins that brother probably somewhere woke up and said, "I am Roman Liaki."
Stop it.
FCW reference for those of you who don't know.
Stop it.
Before he was Roman Reigns, that man was Roman Liaki in FCW. That man got stumped. Thinking like, brother, Seth Rollins snapped. That man, this was so disrespectful. That man used both feet.
Bro, he's
to do the
super
stump.
stumped. He's super.
Gresh, I got
First,
a
he
meme for you,
stomped
bro.
him. He stomped him on the stairs, and then he double foot super stomped him on the floor. Bro, like, you know what kind of hate you have to have in your heart to try to like give a man like CTE while he's still alive? Like, bro, like he tried to kill that man at ringside, bro. He was that angry.
Hey, listen, Gresh, I got a whole new meme for you, my brother. I got a whole new meme for you. Take it if you will. I need you to take that Seth Rollins dance every time he be coming out in whatever he wearing. It could be that little outfit we was just showing. I want you to take all them times he stomped Roman and just play that Kurt Franklin stomp with it in the process, brother. And trust me, I guarantee you.
Now, shout out.
You are not. You are not.
Shout out to whoever. Because congratulations to Beyonce for winning Country Album of the Year at the Grammys. But whoever dubbed over her, because Roman was getting his ass whooped by a lot of people. He got speared out of his boots by Braun Breaker. He got stomped by Seth Rollins. But whoever made that meme where they literally said, "Hey." You remember that song, Beyonce song, 16 Characters from her album, where she said 16 like if you listen to it back, like I'll dub it over. Like if you haven't listened to it, it's so every time the beat drop, they put Seth stomp on it. So every time it says 16, boom, dun dun boom. Like if you watch it, it's not as funny as the Kurt Franklin stump, but it was pretty freaking hilarious because every time Roman got hit, the beat dropped. So Roman became a meme from basically getting his ass whooped. Even though my only gripe, I feel like a lot more people should have whooped his ass. Because that man terrorized a lot of people.
Look.
I'm surprised Drew didn't try to join in on that fun. He was already eliminated, but good God, man. Where were you at?
The one thing that I did like about the Rumbles was that, especially the men's, sometimes the women's, but more so the men's, they tried to set up other storylines, and I love when the Rumble has a multi-purpose. We're not just setting up the person who's going to challenge for the title at Mania and make a main event, but we also have all these other things going on, and you're setting up other matches that could be potential big matches at Mania or during Mania season or what have you during the Rumble. And this whole thing with Seth and Roman and even with Punk and everything, like all of this is setting up so many different things, so many different avenues, so many different stories that they can tell and directions that they can go in. This is why I like, the direction that everything is flowing in right now with WWE.
Man, I agree, bro. I would enjoy it for both the men and women's, just the fact like all these just amazing potential matchups that we have yet to see. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, Jacob Fatu versus everybody at this point, Jordan Grace versus everybody at this point. I'm sitting here, I'm just like, hey, bro, there's so many where you're just like, oh man, this is gonna be like a crazy year of like just fresh matchups all across the board. And yeah, dude, like, hey man, shout out to this Rumble. I'll ask y'all probably at the end, a lot of people ranking this thing already, saying it's the greatest one of all time. I know that seems like recency bias, so we'll get to that in the end. I want y'all to think on that a little bit more deeply, before we end the show. But like, dog, man, hey.
Oh yeah. Speaking of crazy and sustaining, Alexa Bliss is back.
Ah, yes. bro.
And that pop
That pop's
and
wild.
sustained reaction. Because there's one thing about a pop, but to have a sustained reaction and to have people booing
Did
when you
not
got
stop.
eliminated, it did not stop while she was in there. Like, so this is another proof where online doesn't really matter. Because I remember when they was talking about her coming back, it was like, the women's division has evolved past the need for Alexa Bliss.
What does that tell you?
I mean, it's like the hate for her, like you said, is only online because obviously the people there were excited to see her. That's on the return. I want to see the sustained reactions that she gets to whatever this return in this character is going to be. So just to see whatever it is that she does, like I want to see the sustained reaction from whatever this character is going to be, because we saw her come out with the Lily doll, and they're pushing that doll already on WWE Shop. So they're pushing they're already pushing the merch and stuff. So
but it sells, bro. It's selling.
That's my problem. Why are y'all buying y'all kids these ugly ass dolls, man? That is my problem. That is my problem.
I saw that thing. I said, "Oh man, we got this again." Like I was thinking, like maybe it's just a tribute to the Fiend for the night, and maybe we won't have to deal to see this again. But then after Jermaine said what he said, God dang it, the dog.
Bro, when I saw the T-shirt, I was like, okay, the T-shirt was one thing, and then when I realized they're selling the doll, I was like,
an updated doll, because this is an updated one. So I'm like, and they said this one has overtaken the number one, and I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. This shit is not going anywhere.
Nah, it ain't. We in it for the long haul, bro.
So at this point, I know I saw a rumor that she's getting moved to Raw. If they haven't her with this character, why not move her to SmackDown with the YS6?
Maybe it's just something to like. It's like a security blanket for her new character. Maybe it's not no spooky stuff.
Yeah, because I know the last time we saw her, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't she kind of a blend of like regular Alexa but the creepy Alexa?
It was 2023. It was she was 100%. She was like, it was like you can tell that they was building to her getting payback. I mean, to her Bray getting payback for her betraying him.
It was still it was more spooky based with some reality.
Yeah. So
this character.
Yeah. So basically they was building, because I remember vividly, like they started over the coming months leading up to her match at the Royal Rumble. They was like, Uncle Howdy was like haunting her for payback for what happened to Bray, to the Fiend at Mania 21 or Mania 2021.
Yeah.
And then she got off TV because she got pregnant. And then they just scrapped the whole story. And then unfortunately Bray, and then here we are. So this is I feel like this is kind of a tribute to Bray, her tribute to Bray. But yeah, the Lily stuff just never moves me. And I'm like, I mean, if we got to deal with it, then we just got to deal with it.
It's too much of a reminder of Shayna Baszler and how she got completely killed off, you know.
Well, Shayna ain't no better.
Dog, bro, it's like, oh my god, bro. No wonder.
She ain't doing no better now.
I think this character is going to be more reality based with some spooky elements to it. I think it's going to be like a change, you know, where she's more Alexa Bliss than she is like that whatever. But she's just a dark Alexa Bliss instead of being, you know, like this pseudo Sister Abigail type of character.
Yeah, because we already have Sister Abigail and Lily.
Exactly.
So if anything, if they do link them, it'll just be to reunite them.
Right.
So
that's why I think it'll be more reality based with the like dark side to her, as opposed to being spooky.
Oh yeah,
that makes a lot of sense.
Well, speaking of spooky, I show speed. That nigga.
Somebody check on that brother. He alive? He good? Is his remains still on the mat?
Oh my god, that
Bruh.
spear.
That boy was flat.
That dude, man.
That nigga is dead.
Hey, tell me y'all saw the video where apparently Melo set this man up though.
Bro, look at his face. His eyes are crossed.
Bro, speared him into being a caca. It's crazy.
Bro, look at his eyes, bro. He got two lazy eyes.
That man.
That brother got two lazy eyes, bro. That's what that look like.
That spear garnered them over 250 million views and counting within a day.
I thought it was over 300.
Yeah, I heard it was over 300.
Oh, so wait, they had 250 in a day?
In a day. And then it's
because this was on Saturday, so it was like just recently I saw it said 300. That
it was
insane.
200. It was 250 million within 12 hours. That one day, and then it grew. It spiked up as more content creators and celebrities start talking about it. Then it spiked up to 350, and then I'm pretty sure right now it's probably sitting at maybe more.
I'm sorry, bro. That number is more impressive than the 300 or whatever million that they say they got overall. If you getting 200 or so million in a day, a day, bro. Like, this is why people need to just shut the hell up when it comes to. Why do they do this? I don't like this. This is not perfect, bro. They're not doing this for you because you
are not the target demographic.
No, you are not. It is those 200-300 million people that watch this. That's who they doing this for.
Yeah, because I can tell you, I'm not a part of the people who watch Speed. I know of them, but I don't sit down and watch their content.
Speed, Casanat, you name it. This is
I'm like kudos to those brothers. They know their target, their audience. Like we love that for them. But I'm just not one of them that's going to just sit down and watch.
Same thing with the Paul brothers. We got
I've never watched a single minute of their content.
It's never been my cup of tea. Never have, never will. I'm not knocking it. Just like you guys, it's just like, okay, cool. Like I'm never going to hate any of that. I'm never going to knock any of that because them brothers get in the bag, and I love that for them. You know what I'm saying? I may like in passing check out clips or highlights or something or reaction videos or something that they're doing if it's funny. Yeah, like cool. It's just not my bag, but just because they're not my specific target audience, don't mean that I'm going to knock it or hate on it. Because as a businessman, I see the business aspect of what they did, and it is great business. Great business.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if it was our time, it would have been like the Spoken Reasons and the Hot Damn Our Rocks.
Spoken Reasons, Emmanuel Hudson, DC Young Fly, anybody who was like on Vine, like King Batch, all them niggas who was on like who was prominent on Vine. But hey, this is y'all think like that's why, and it's like I can't knock them because I didn't knock what's the AJ Boom.
Oh yeah, Big Justice
and all them.
Cookies.
Yeah, chocolate. Yeah, the Costco's.
Yeah.
I didn't knock them because I'm like, yo, this is for somebody. This is not for me, but I'm not gonna knock it. And it's not. It's lighthearted. It's fun. So there's that.
See,
but yeah,
it worked out for WWE. I don't think it's working out for too much for AEW right now. I heard homie out there rocking the WWE belt somewhere right now. I'm like, oh dang, he ain't even got no AEW belt, bro. God, dog.
Do they even have replicas?
No, they sell the replicas and stuff. Like they sell all the. They no. I can't remember how long they've been doing it, but I've seen people in crowds like with like.
Okay.
Matter of fact, shout out to Mika. I think she was in the chat earlier. She coming down from Dallas. We're gonna go to Collision on Saturday because it's like right like down the road from my house. So there's a Waffle House like 2 blocks from it.
Man, listen. Hopefully they don't give you a main event like what they tried to give out here when they came to Winder. Because I'm so glad that was a dodge bullet. I was like, wait, Jericho versus who? What?
No, bro, we got a triple threat trios match for the main event. It's like STP and two other trios, Garcia and somebody, and Daddy Magic and them, and then somebody, I can't remember the other trio, but this is a triple threat trios main event. Yeah, say that 3 times fast without getting your tongue tied.
Exactly, no pop.
I saw that. He said, "Yeah, no, thank you."
No, thank you.
Look, I've never. The last time I was at a live event, it was the Monday Night Raw that came to Houston after the SummerSlam in Nashville. A buddy of mine had the tickets. He couldn't go. He was like, "Bro, like, I'll just take my tickets because I know you'll go if I give them to you." So I went and ended up catching COVID.
Damn.
It was the last time I was at a live wrestling event. And I've never been to an AEW. All the live events and stuff I've been to has been either WWE or like something local or whatever. But it's been a long time since I've been to a local one. I got to get out to some of the shows. But like, I was just like, you know what? It's literally down the street from the house. Like, practically, it's like 7 miles away. Texas, 7 miles is down the street. So it's down the street from the house. I was just like, you know, it's right there. I already know the building because my daughter graduated in that same building. So it's like, okay, I'll go. Let's go. Like, you know, let's do this. So we decided to do it. So I'm gonna go. I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna give him a shot because like I'm like the optimistic wrestling fan. Like, I just want to give everybody a shot. Like, I'm gonna give you a shot enough to prove me wrong and then tell me why I should be disinterested. I'm not just gonna dismiss it and poo-poo it. I'm not with that tribalism crap. Like, no, I love wrestling and I've always loved wrestling and I like different forms of wrestling. So I'm gonna give it a shot.
Yeah, that makes sense. Cause I ain't gonna do, like we said last week. Raw wasn't the best, but we went. The experience was just the live experience is always something, like, especially if you're with your people. So
yes,
that's a fun thing. Last bit for the Royal Rumble before we move on. AJ Styles is back. The phenomenal.
And
love it.
with the old thing.
Thank
You don't want none.
you.
Rest in peace.
You are not mixed.
Rest
They
in
don't
peace.
want none. They don't scared, don't it? Vote. They don't want none. This is Tyler Bull and the Pound Spring. There ain't nobody man enough to feel the pain. It be next. Yeah, get respect. Cause ain't nobody breaking this black neck. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. They don't want none. No, they don't want none. And don't be scared, no, they don't. They don't want none. Thank you, fake DMX. Thank you, sir.
Bro, it would be even better. I hope I need to find out who sings that song, and I really hope it's like a white dude. For some reason, I really hope that it's a white dude.
I know this is Jim Johnson. I know it's a Jim Johnson beat. So
So that means if that's the case, it's probably the same dude that did Billy Kidman's theme.
Yeah.
Same guy.
Bruh.
You can run if you want to run, but you can't hide.
I like it. For Billy Kickman?
But I don't have it all. I'm a lunatic.
Like, you want me to, like, bro, this cookie cutter little midget?
Y'all deep in the weeds of wrestling things. Like, I'm just sitting here vibing because I'm like, man, I don't even remember that. Like, I'm just like, oh, okay.
Slap, boy. I used to be like, hey, okay. I'm like, I don't have it all. I'm a lunatic. You see society? They label me a threat. But I'm just getting started. I ain't finished yet. I was like, okay, all right, then. I'm like, go on, Billy.
What made that theme more iconic was the fact that it did not fit Billy's character at all.
At all, bro.
No clue why they gave him that shit.
people used to say, it was like, oh, you know that's DMX on the track. I'm like, oh, word? Oh, that made me like the song even more. Only find out it wasn't DMX.
Nah, that was CMX. Country MX. That was that country boy.
Well, you know what?
Or the primal string.
See,
because ain't nobody made nothing feel the pain.
Oh, here you go. Look, I like before you came on, he got me with that earlier, and I wasn't even paying attention. He said the first line, I was like, okay. He said the second line, I was like,
wait a minute.
I was like, wait a minute. Is he really doing this right now? Like, this was really happening right now. Did I just get? God damn it,
Speaking of theme songs, we had Joe Hendry in the men's Royal Rumble as well. So speaking of TNA, that was
say
dope.
his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
In Paris, in Tokyo.
Mexico. I believe in Joe Hendry. Bruh.
Oh, this guy. You know what my lady said?
Wave your hands from.
Bro, I can't.
First time I saw him do the wave, I thought I was like, "Hey, that was it." And then when he hit that, I was like, "Oh, it's another part to this."
Yeah,
I was like, "Yes, I love this shit. I love it. This is pro wrestling."
Listen, I can't get this out of my head because when my lady saw it with me, I swear when she saw him, I was like, "Oh, Joe Hendry, TNA." She ain't know about TNA, so I was telling her. And then she see dude and said, "Hey, he looked like Ryan Gosling when he was playing Ken and Barbie." I was like, "Oh my god, I can't get that out of my
head." Lord, Jesus, I couldn't even find the mute button, bro. God damn it. Oh my god, bro. You can't y'all can't do. I damn near had a heart attack, man. Y'all know I'm old. What if I'd have died right here on the pod, bro? Y'all gotta be careful.
I can't unsee it, bro. I was just like, oh, man.
Then we would have threw our hands up and said, "Wave your hands from side to side and pray. Let us pray for Jeremiah. Let us pray for Jermaine that he makes it. That he makes it."
Hey man, that's why, bro.
Oh man.
With like Sloan said, the pop was in effing insane.
Hey man.
And there are some pops where you can feel it through the television.
Mm-hmm.
His was one of those pops where you could feel it through the television, not mainly because of the sound, but because of the reaction of the people and how insane the people went visually.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you have a visual with a sound accompaniment with it, it enhances that sound because you're seeing people actually lose their minds. Mm-hmm. So when you see that and you hear how loud that pop is, it adds to the pop itself. And that to me is what allows me personally to feel a pop through the TV.
Oh yeah. And it's even more better when you just soak in the moment, soak in the atmosphere. So, hey man, kudos to the Royal Rumble. Solid. Like honestly, I did not hate the show overall. It was a solid experience.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if you just went in just chilling, having a good time. Like it was me and my sister. I was down on the recliner. My sister was on the sofa. She was literally reacting to everything. She didn't know who people were. Like Def Rebel, go to hell, because we didn't know who music was. It's the same thing every year. Like whose music is this?
Ben had me like, yo, who the hell is this? And I was like, it's like
even with the women, like it was a delayed pop again. We didn't know it was Jada Parker until the theme song. I knew it was Last Legend because we've heard that theme song on NXT a lot, but I keep forgetting that Jada Parker has new music or old music or.
No, that's new. That's new because they just gave her that. I like it because it's like a ride. but you got to get used to it. And so I know what you mean because it was on the second time hearing it. So it was like, dang, if we were familiar with it, we would have known.
If we were familiar with it, like God damn it. But but yeah, Royal Rumble, fun experience. Hopefully hopefully you guys continue to enjoy everything that we do as far as with the Royal Rumble. Speaking of enjoyment, let's talk. I guess we can talk about a little bit of AEW because there's nothing much to talk about. Tony Storm is like they're still in the like how are we feeling about because me and Jermaine talked about this last week. How have you been paying attention to this?
Yeah, I saw where she came back, reincarnated, if you will, from her greatest performance of playing herself. And I was like, okay,
reincarnated.
That was creative.
Reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on.
I
Honey,
knew it
love
was
my babies.
I set myself up on purpose, but I knew it was
sure
coming.
did. You sure did. You should have known.
Hey, I should have known the kid. That's right on time for this weekend. So you did that right, my brother. Like, man, look, I mean, I don't know, man. AEW is just like, I'm trying to get them chances, but they keep.
We all that way, brother. You're preaching to the choir.
I'm catching the clips like everybody else, where I just be like, oh, okay. I mean, I did enjoy the sit down interview I saw with Swerve and Ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was kind of cool, and I mean, Ricochet trying. I gotta give him credit. He tried with this. The scissor thing is some people like it, some people, you had to sound like that. There we go. But I think they're gonna have a nice little banger. I just wish AEW got better with storytelling because I like the realness that's coming from here. I mean, how like even Swerve acknowledging like going back to the Lucha Underground days, and I was just like, see,
they're telling stories. We just need them to stick the landing on good stories. Because they're telling stories. Because I'm paying attention. Like I will give them credit. They are telling stories, and goes back to my point earlier. We just need the stories to be good.
Right. You can do some good things, but then you can also screw it up by not sticking the landing. And sometimes also when you're on that journey, if you're not hitting certain points, that can also mess it up as well. So I just think that a lot of the times AEW their booking can be clunky, and it's just the fact that they don't have a cohesiveness, like a fluidity to their stuff. Like it's kind of
all over the place.
Right. So I think that if they brought some more fluidity to it, streamline it, and just kind of have an idea and a plan and a goal in mind instead of just seemingly playing it by ear so much, I think it would come off much better.
Oh yeah, for sure. So we got Dynamite this week. It's going to be from on paper, it's looking like a pretty solid card. You got, like we mentioned, Swerve versus Ricochet. They'll be right there in College Park in Atlanta. They won't be downtown Atlanta, but like if you're in the College Park area, it's not a massive stadium, arena that they're going to be in, but it's actually pretty big for College Park. But it's still a part of Atlanta. So like we claim that part. But it'll be Ricochet Swerve 1-on-1. We'll have the Hounds of Hell, Brody King and Buddy Matthews versus the Don Callis families, Konosuke Takeshita, as well as Kyle Fletcher in a tag team match. We'll have Timeless Tony Storm versus Queen Aminata, who AEW needs to finally just pull the trigger on her. With Mariah May on commentary, their whole that song and dance where they have the opponent of the champion competing, and then the champion appears on commentary, and then they have Will Ospreay versus a member of the Don Callis family. So yeah, it's what I'm saying. It's solid on paper. we'll see in the execution. I would have. Someone said, "Why didn't I go?" Because I think it was on the enemies last week. They was like, "What? Why did you? Why? Gresh don't like AEW?" I'm like, "Nah, it's not that. I just got to work." And by the time I get off work, it'll be like 6:00, and that traffic's gonna be horrible at 6:00. So even if I did want to go, I was not gonna make it.
Yeah, I was thinking the same, Grush. I was like, hard to hit it up, but you know me, given how far up north I am, knowing I got to get up at 3 a.m., I'm like, going to College Park? Oh, no. Nah. I was like, bro,
y'all got that. Y'all got that.
I remember when my cousin lived there, and he was in the military, and he told me where he worked and where he lived and his commute and everything. And I was just like, bro, I don't know how you do it. I really don't. And I related to like here in Houston, like when I hear of people staying in certain parts of town and then they work in other parts of town or whatever, or like the company I work for, we have clients who live like way up north, like off Lake Conroe and stuff. And I'm like, you make this hour or so commute into town to go to work, and you live way out here?
Yes.
Like no, bro. No. That is no.
Well, speaking of no, a lot of people are not going to be happy about this, but they made it official. It'll be Adam Copeland versus Jon Moxley for the AEW World Title at AEW Revolution.
Oh boy.
Well, he laid out the challenge on Collision. You know, Mox is probably going to accept.
Whatever, bro. Like, I and this is the kind of stuff, man, that like AEW does. I understand they're trying to use older, more established stars or whatever to in the main event scene and whatnot. And the last true infusion of youth they had was like MJF. You had Darby and Jungle Boy was hanging around and stuff like that. And like you had some infusion of youth. And like right now, I don't see that infusion of youth in that main event scene. And I'm not liking it. And you have Jay White and you have kind of Hangman or whatever. But like, why are we getting Cope versus Mox just cause? Like, what did Cope do to say I should earn a shot at your world title? What did he do besides establish himself in another company? Because what he's done so far in AEW has not established him as a world title person outside of him being the artist formerly known as Edge.
Formerly known, I still call that nigga Edge.
It's that one thing. I'm just trying to be like, I'm being diplomatic about it right now. But they pissing me off to the point where I don't want to get rude or disrespectful and start doing the same tropes that like the anti AEW people do. But a lot of the times they're giving you no other choice or no other reason but to follow those same tropes because that's seemingly like what the direction that they're going in. And it's like, I want to like you. I want to root for you. I want to have reasons to defend you. And yet and still you give me every reason not to. And I don't like feeling like that about a product that I actually enjoy watching.
True. Speaking of someone we finally enjoy watching, they finally giving Kalani Jordan some character on NXT.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, shout out to that.
So thank y'all for listening. Finally.
It was like she needed a little edge, man. I couldn't get behind that cookie cutter Kalani. I was like, bro, I don't relate to you. It's like, hey, man, I know you got some kind of edge in you, girl. You know?
Yeah.
Thanks. Last bit of two tidbits before we get about it here. 2K25. I need y'all to fix that Jey Uso entrance.
You got a clip of it, Grush? Because I just saw the final boss entrance, but I ain't
My
see
brother,
that.
You remember his 2K24 entrance?
Ooh, it's like that bad?
It's the same shit. It's copy and paste. They just changed his model.
That's it.
Wow. That's not surprising. That's exactly what they do.
I'm
they
like,
do it in the NBA too.
And the crowd it looks like 13,000 Michael Coles.
Oh,
That's
you
what
already
the
know.
crowd
You
looks
already
like.
know Derek's gonna be pissed.
Oh, brother. Good brother.
Yeah.
But I'm
makes that
not. I'm not
interesting, but
surprised. It's 2K, so it's like, yeah, that's the last little bit of tidbit of 2K noise that you're gonna hear from me, because I'm a gamer when it comes to that game. Also, last but not least, we have WWE Evolve. That is officially a thing in the year 2025. It is actually dropping on March 5th. 8/7 Central, and new episodes will follow every week since. March 5th, however, is Wednesday. So at 8/7 Central. Yeah.
You know the irony? The irony of all of that is that it's on Tubi too. And you know why? Because guess who owns Tubi, people? Fox. And y'all thought that partnership was dead. No, it was not.
Listen, man.
The whole Chappelle. Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch. So AEW is about to do battle with the developmental of developmental.
The
Pretty
real
much.
developmental.
The actual developmental, not the
Like,
third
if you
brand,
can't
the
beat the
developmental.
actual developmental, that is a problem.
On Tubi.
On Tubi. That is a problem.
Listen,
I think they can do it. I have confidence and faith in AEW that they can do it. I have.
Oh yeah, like we're not finna just say dismiss it. We're not
But
finna
it's
just
like,
dismiss them, but yeah,
bruh,
like they need to something needs to change.
Like, yes, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm hoping and waiting that, like, all this stuff that we could see on the horizon there actually comes to fruition, instead of it just always being, we're still cooking it. Eventually shit gonna burn.
Yeah. So, well, yeah, that's pretty much all I got this week for wrestling. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of Aggression League's podcast, episode 105. If you guys haven't already, make sure you tap in with Susio Boys podcast. Make sure you guys tap in with OTS Media Co. Make sure you guys tap in with the Public Enemies podcast that drops Thursday. New episode of Susio Boys podcast will be dropping tomorrow, 8:30 Eastern. 8:30 Central. Or
8:30 Central for Susio Sports. Susio Boys 151. Their episode just dropped, I think today or yesterday, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah. So make sure you guys just follow if you're watching in video format, make sure you follow those directs so you know exactly what's dropping and what's not dropping, and have a good time. Follow your boy at Isgresh, AO Isgresh everywhere else. Follow your boy Highlight Reel at HILITE Life, and make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast, and hopefully you guys enjoyed today's show and any show that we release going forward. This is your official trio. If ever there is a rotation needed, as far as someone is not busy, they will be here. Like if there's a case that I'm not going to be here, even though my name is on it, just a small chance, which probably won't happen. It'll be them two. Like this is your official setup. Like it will be unleashed without Gresh, but that'll be a fun day one of these days. I'll just hit up like, hey, bro, I'm not coming. I'll let y'all figure it out. But nah, I'm trolling. But yeah, it's definitely, we're definitely setting it up to where we can rotate like the lead, the vocals, and all that stuff. So like this is it. So Sloan said that y'all dropped today. So hey man, make sure you guys.
I couldn't remember.
Make sure you guys. Yeah, he's old. It's okay. Make sure you guys tap into everything that goes on, and also make sure you guys stay true to yourself, stay safe out here in these streets, and remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out, y'all. Be crazy.